Good morning one and all, and welcome to your next maths lesson. Today we're going to look at actually telling the time. How exciting. So that when you say that, when Miss Telford says, right, it's this o'clock, you'll know exactly what I mean, okay? So we're going to be looking specifically at o'clock today, but as normal, we will be going through our numbers. But what I'm also going to do is see how many of these we can get through in 1 minute. So I'm going to click on the timer again, and we're going to quickly go through as many numbers as we can in 1 minute, okay, so that you can have a good idea of how long that lasts for, because that was what our lesson was yesterday. Today is Tuesday the 23rd of June, okay, again scary times. It's nearly the end of June already. Okay, so we're going to go through as many numbers as we can. We might even get through all of them in a minute, you never know. Okay, so I'm going to press play on my timer and then we're going to have a go. Okay, here we go. 6, 10 and 1, 10 and 1, 11. Well done. Have a look at the second number. 18, 14, 15, 16. Oh, we're halfway through our minute already. 12, see if I be a bit quicker. 9, 10, oh, 7, 3, 4, 5, oh, nearly done. 8, 1, 20. Oh, we'll stop it there. Oh, a minute. We've still got a couple more, but that was 1 minute long. Okay, how many seconds are in a minute? There are 60 seconds in a minute. Okay, so we've still got this one. 17, 2, unlucky, 13, and last one, number 9, 19. Okay, well done. Right, now I'm going to use the team numbers, and we're going to quickly go through our number bonds to 20. Okay, what I mean by that is the ones that are shared with 10, so it's 10 and another number. Okay, so I'm just going to hold them up. Are we ready? Okay, so this number here is 19. So what would we split 19 up into? 9. Okay, 13, 10 and 3, 17, 10 and 7, ooh, 20, 20 is 10 and 10, sorry, number 12, 10 and 2, 10 and 6, 10 and 5, 10 and 4, 10 and 8, and last one, 10 and 1, 10 and 1, 11. Splendid. Right, we are now going to move on to telling the time using a clock. Now don't worry if you don't have access to anything at the moment. There is a craft activity below where you can make your own clock. You will need a split pin though, I think, if you want it to work well, but to be honest, I don't think you really need one per se, but there is a clock activity if you want to make your own clock. Now what we're going to look at today is something called o'clock. Okay, so the first thing I need to introduce you to is this. This is a clock. Okay, the clocks are a form of measurement and they measure time and how long something is going on for, okay? So when I said 24 hours of the day, it tells you which hour of the day we are on, okay? And it also lets us know how many hours are left of the day, okay? So I'm going to take this all the way back. Okay, so on a clock you have several things. We have these numbers that go all the way around to 12. These are called hours, okay? And they tell us what hour we are on our clock, in our time, okay? Now each clock, usually on an analog clock, this is called an analog clock, we have two hands, okay? They don't look like hands, but these two kind of long sticks are called clock hands, okay? They always have one, or they should always have, a longer one and a shorter one. Now the long hand is our minute hand, and it tells us how many minutes we are around the clock, okay? And this hand here, the shorter one, is our hour hand, okay? It tells you what hour we're on. So the minute hand is the long one, and the shorter one is our hour hand, okay? Can you say that with me? The short hand is the hour hand. The long hand is the minute hand, okay? So wherever the little red one is pointing on this clock is what hour we are looking at, okay? Now, we are going to look at something called o'clock, and the only thing you need to know really is where the red hand is pointing at, because when it's o'clock, the minute hand stays in the same place, okay? So o'clock is when the minute hand, this long one, is at the top, okay? At the number 12, when it's right at the top of this clock, okay? The hour hand points to what hour o'clock it is, okay? And you literally say what the number's pointing at, o'clock. So this one is pointing at which number? The number 1, and the minute hand's at the top, so it's o'clock. So it's 1 o'clock. Say that with me, 1 o'clock. So where's the hand pointing to, the little one? It's at the 1. The minute hand's at the top, so it's o'clock, 1 o'clock, okay? If this went around again, so it went 60 minutes all the way around the clock, it would still be o'clock, but we've changed the hour hand now. So which number is it pointing to now? It is pointing at the number 2, so it is 2 o'clock. If our hand went all the way around again, 60 minutes, it'll be another hour. It's back to the top, so it's o'clock, but we're pointing at a different number, which is 3 o'clock. So let's have a look at what we've had a look at. So we're going to go back in time now, like Doctor Who in the TARDIS, okay? 1 o'clock. It's back to the top. 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock, okay? So you'll notice as I say, oops, that little hand was a little bit off, that the long hand, the minute hand, is always at the top when it is o'clock, okay? So when I have asked you the time and I go, okay, so someone tell me what time it is, when the big hand is right at the top, it's o'clock. And whatever the number is that the little one's pointing at, that is what time it is. 3 o'clock, okay? And if we went back in time, 2 o'clock, okay? So I'm going to give you another one. What if it was pointing at this number? What time would it be? It would be 4 o'clock. If it went to a different number, 5 o'clock. Okay, what if it went to this number? Who can tell me what time is on that clock? Where is the hour hand pointing to? And we've still got o'clocks, it's still at the top. So what time is it? It is 8 o'clock. Okay, so if I went to another one again, where's the little hand pointing to? What hour is it? It is 9 o'clock. Oh my word, how insane is this clock? Now, this is the one that often gets confusing, because if your hands aren't color coded or they don't show long or short, this could be 2 different times, okay? But our little hand is pointing to the 6 and our minute hand is at the top, so it's still o'clock. Okay, so what time is it now? It is 6 o'clock. So I gave you another one. Who can tell me what time it is? Where's the hour hand pointing? The little red one. And where is my minute hand? It is still at the top. So it is 10 o'clock. Well done. Okay. As I say, if you've got access to a small clock, fantastic. If you don't, you can make your own and get into the habit of just practicing o'clock. Okay, what does 1 o'clock look like? What does 2 o'clock look like? Okay, getting used to moving the hands into place. Okay, so if I said show me 2 o'clock, where would my hour hand go? If I said I want to know what 2 o'clock looks like, where would my little hand have to be? 2 o'clock. It would have to be at the 2. So if I move this all the way to the 2, pow, 2 o'clock. If I said I wanted 4 o'clock on my clock, where would the red hand have to go if I wanted 4 o'clock? Hopefully you said at the 4, okay? So clue is in the time itself. So if I said 6 o'clock, then your hour hand would have to be at 6. If I said 8 o'clock, your hour hand would have to be at 9. Is that right? No, it's not. If I said 8 o'clock, it would have to be at 8, okay? That's where we're going to leave it for today, okay? Just o'clock. There are some worksheets attached to our update, okay, that are just about identifying o'clock, okay? So if I said to you, what time is it on this clock? You'd be able to look at the little hand and where the minute hand is. It's always going to be at the top for o'clock. So it is 4 o'clock. If I said to you, what time is on my clock now? You would look at where the little hand is pointing. It is pointing at 7, so it is 7 o'clock, okay? Just o'clock today. Don't go any further, okay? I know that some of you love just going on ahead and getting everything done, but it is about really consolidating at every step, okay? If they're able to tell 5 past, half past, quarter past, which some of you will know nothing about at the moment, great. But today it is just about focusing on o'clock, okay? This week we'll also look at half past, but tomorrow we will be looking at just playing some games. There's What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf game on Twinkl, which I will add just to kind of consolidate everything that you've looked at today, okay? Then we will look at half past on Thursday, and then on Friday it will be consolidation of both an hour and half past, as well as maybe I might sneak in some kind of word problems, okay? For example, if it was 7 o'clock now, what time will it be in an hour's time? So an hour is when you go all the way around the clock, so 1 hour's time it will be 8 o'clock. If I said to you it is 8 o'clock, what time will it be in 2 hours time? You would need it to go around twice. 1, 2, it would be 10 o'clock, okay? It's really just about adding up, okay? If it's 5 o'clock now and I said what will it be in 5 hours, 5 and another 5 is 10 o'clock, okay? And so on and so forth. Hope that's okay for you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.